Hello, everyone. Sean Ellis here for Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. And tonight we have a very special guest tonight. As you noticed, over to my left side here, up here, we have a new sponsor, WROK FM Radio with Rocken Randy from Las Vegas, Nevada. And he happens to be the guest on the show tonight. And we're going to have another little surprise here before the end of the show as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on one of my new friends. And we're going to have a discussion about his wrestling career and his paranormal experience and him being a co-host as well of his own show. So let's bring on Rockin' Randy.
Hey, big guy, what's up? What's going on, brother? It is a thrill to be here. I feel like the Thriller in Manila, brother, to be on the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Show. Woo! I'm telling you, it's electric. It's exciting. It's lightning's flying everywhere, brother. I'm just telling you, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's fun to have you on the show. I've been on yours a few times already, and we've had some pretty good experiences and stuff. And it's finally good enough to have you on here, and it's time. So,
man, I'm telling you, I'm so happy to be on your show.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes here lately together and coming up with some new stuff. So, and we'll show.
I'll tell you what, I love the guests you have on your shows.
Well, thank you.
You had the girls up there a few times there, the paranormal girls and the girls from what was it? The Peach State there, Georgia was on there, and
right.
You had some really cool guests on there, and I'm thrilled and excited to be on your show. I mean, this is electrifying.
We have Deadpool Head 888. Ooh, I love this intro segment. Highly professional. Thank you.
Nothing but professional on this show.
We try.
That's how we roll that's how we roll as host.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about your show?
Yeah, I had body slamming conversations. No holds barred on my show. You say what you got to say. We say all things. Of course, people know me. And whatever's on my mind comes out my mouth. There's no filter. And I own WROK FM Las Vegas, which is a worldwide radio show, which this show will be tonight. Not now, but it will be pre-recorded later tonight on my radio show, so you can listen to it there if you didn't see it here live on YouTube. I believe you're on, and some other channels playing here. But man, it's great to be doing a show, being back on the big screen, and being with you, brother. It's just dynamite.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We've had some pretty wild ones here within the last month or so since I've been on your show, and we've been talking a lot. And like I said, we've been doing some things behind the scenes and working on some new stuff for you and I both for our shows. So it's actually working out really great. And I'd like to thank you for being a sponsor of the show as well.
Hey, man, WROK FM, we couldn't have a better person to sponsor. And like I said, you got one of the kick-ass shows around. I love it. You guys, make sure you check out our show every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Mountain Time. I believe that's what it is. And I'll tell you what, to do a show, people don't understand. They think it's just get up here and talk. But, you have to do your homework. You have to make your show better all the time. On my show, I have everything from Bigfoot to strippers to hookers. And, mine's kind of a little crazy. But, I've got – if anybody watched the show last week on Friday, I had a lady who was actually a draconian, who was a lizard person, and she's stuck in a human body. I mean, my show is like the Jerry Springer of talk shows. You know what I'm saying? But your show is so much – I mean, I try to bring my show to be well, it's important, but I'm trying to make it educational. All your shows are educational, and I really appreciate that of you, man, because people are getting to learn. I've learned so much watching your show and just talking to you off of the show, and I got to thank you, brother. I mean, you're a great person, and I love you to death.
Well, thank you very much. Deadpool Head 88. Great variety there, LOL. But good point. The homework is important. Yes, it is. So let's start out with a little bit of this.
Sure.
Be a cage fighter, and I am aware that you used to be a professional wrestler.
Yes, I was.
How'd you get into professional?
I got tired of my wife
wrestling back.
I got tired of my wife beating me up.
I hope she didn't beat you up too bad.
Oh, hell, I look like Rocky Balboa when she got done with me. No, when I was in high school, I boxed. I took up Taekwondo. I had a girlfriend back then. I used to do ballet with her, so that helped me out a lot. And I just, I was watching wrestling on TV, and I went to a wrestling match in Syracuse, New York. Greg the Hammer Valentine was out there wrestling, and I had front row seats because my ex-wife was a waitress at the Holiday Inn where they were staying. And he saw me with her, so he started giving me some slack. And him and I had some words together, and he swung at me, and I swung back at him. And that was kind of, every time he'd get out of the ring, he'd look at me and throw sweat on me and spit on me, and I do the same. But the next morning when I took her to work, they said, "Hey, did you ever think about being a wrestler?" I'm like, "Nah." They said, "Why don't you try?" And I thought about it. So when I left New York and moved to the Windy City in Chicago, a good friend of mine, Michael LaRucci, he had opened up a wrestling school. So I said, I don't think I'll try this. So I went in there, and it's been a mistress of mine ever since. You get in there, and I was in the gym 8-10 hours a day, sometimes 12 hours. We just get in there and wrestle, workout, and it was a bunch of great guys you get to meet, and then going in on the road and learning, getting the money you make, and just enjoying it, man. It was just, if I could do it now, I'm 62 years old. I'm a little too old, but I love wrestling. Wrestling is just like, it was my mistress.
Yeah,
and back in my day,
definitely liked it when I used
a punch was a punch in my day. It's not like you see today.
I definitely liked it when I used to cage fight, and always wanted to kind of do a wrestling gig with somebody sometime afterwards. I've had a couple opportunities to jump the ropes and get in the ring with them, but due to certain things and management and etc., we couldn't work out any deals to do it. But it'd been great to do it one of these days, and hopefully maybe it'll come off my bucket list here before long. We'll see.
Well, you know something, brother? Let me tell you what. Dave Bruce, who does Bigfoot Paranormal Show, he's doing a big show. I don't know if it's this September or what, but he's doing a show, and he's going to have some micro midgets wrestling. So I think you and I should have an old man's handicap match. I'll wear pink tights with your face on the ass, and you and I go out there, and it'll be boxer and wrestler. It'll be the Thriller from Manila, brother.
Ultimate Warrior style from old school.
Yeah, and it'll be it won't be a death match. It'll be an ambulance match. Who needs an ambulance first? Not from flying and going, gasping for air. Give me some sea. Give me some air. It won't be 1, 2, 3. Who have to have the oxygen tank. Get out the pads. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, yeah, you win. It'll be a great match. We should do that.
Something tells me we'd be seeing midgets flying around, and next thing we know, we'd be turning around trying to keep track of everyone.
Hey, I wrestled midgets one time. I wrestled 5 midgets in Dothan, Alabama, and I thought I'm going to put them all in the corner and give them a crush, Well, I went to crush them, and they moved, and they started beating me with garbage can lids and chairs, and they had me down on the floor, and I'm like, these guys are some serious little midgets. I mean, they're wailing the shit out of me. And I said, get me out of here. I got out of the ring. But wrestling midgets is cool, but they're hard to fight because you got to bend down. How do you fight something?
Kind of reminds me of like.
How do you fight something that's got his nose in your business all the time?
True. Very true.
Hey, get up. You're in my business. Hold up here so I can punch you. Slap, slap, slap.
Very true.
Yeah, I had a
Is there?
midget girl. I had a midget girlfriend for about 2 months. I had to get rid of her because every time I turn around, she had her nose in my business. Same deal.
Yeah, well, that happens. Like I said, but
Yeah.
so is there in the wrestling business? We all know that, or I should say, some of us are very aware. That you guys are kind of like stuntmen and everything else, and accidents really do occur. I mean, it's not all fake. So, can
No,
you explain some situations about
sure,
that?
I would love to. Wrestling is an art. It really is a sport, but you are a professional stuntman. Yes, you go to school, learn how to fall. You go to school how to punch somebody. You learn how to suplex somebody and how to fall. I mean, everything you do, it's like going to karate classes. Everything you do can hurt somebody, but you don't apply all of it to hurt 'em. So you keep hurting guys, you won't have nobody left, there'll be nobody left to wrestle. So the idea is a little pressure like a figure four. You can break somebody's leg, but you put enough pressure so they tap out. It's like what you're doing. The boxing. You're not trying to break the guy's neck, but you want him to submit, tap out. So a slap is a slap, a punch is a punch. And wrestlers are dangerous people. I mean, it's just like joining karate. Everything you do is to hurt someone. And when you're wrestling, yourself as being a fighter or anybody that's in karate. As a wrestler, you have to think 4 to 5 moves ahead before they do that, or how you're going to take them down and do something. Is it going to be a toe hold, a leg down, an arm bar into a drag bar? Is it going to be, a fireman's carry with a leg drop, an elbow drop? You have to have all this stuff in your mind. And back in my day, you really didn't rehearse anything. You practiced your moves. So when you went out there and you went to give him a hip toss, and if he didn't take the hip toss, you'd pull his arm out of his socket. So you have to take the jump, not that you want to, but you have to. And a lot of times the guys are like, no, I'm not taking a hip toss. And he'd stop and he'd pull his shoulder out of socket. Or, you go to suplex him off the top ring and he pushes off because he's afraid to hit the floor, and you're not cradling that head, and he breaks his neck or sprains his shoulder or gets a concussion or he catches a chair to the face. Look at here. I can show you my eyes right here. I mean, I've got, from being hit in the face with chairs, I got scars on my head from different things and bruises. And believe me, as you get older, you feel that. No, wrestling is, I tell people, you want to see how fake wrestling is? You know how you wrestle with or fool around with your brother or cousin or neighbor? I punch you, you punch me, I slap you. Hey, man, you hit me too hard. Well, now you get kind of pissed and you slap him back. Well, after that, wrestling goes out the door. Now it's a street fight, So that's what professional wrestling really is. Yeah. And if you're going to be a wrestler, I tell everybody to go to school, go to a good school and learn. But it's a tough business. You can make a lot of money at it, but it's something you'll pay for in the very end. Because there's days I get up and I have to crawl to the toilet, because your knees hurt, legs hurt. When you stop wrestling, everything that was north goes south, and your bones start to compact as you get older. And it's a rough sport, So it's a dangerous sport, too, because at any given time, it's like football. You can break a leg, hurt a back, and you're out of commission. You're done,
Right. So, how many martial arts guys normally would come into professional wrestling and actually convert over? Would it be easier for them than it would be just for somebody off the street?
No, actually, if you're a martial artist, it's harder for you to learn wrestling than it is if you took an average guy who never took anything in his life. Because when you say I put you in a headlock and I'm going to grab you by your tights and I'm going to give you a suplex. Well, his first thing is to get out to hurt you. Well, he doesn't understand. If he doesn't take that fall, you're going to rip something out of his body. You're going to pull a groin, you're going to snap a neck, break a rib, so they have to retrain their minds. There's a lot of guys who come from UFC fighting, Ronda Rousey, Shamrock, what's his name there? The big guy.
Dan the Beast Severance.
He's the beast, whatever. He was the first one that really came out there. But
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, there you go. I had a little mind fart working, so we dropped in my head too many times. But Brock Lesnar, he was a fighter, but he had to learn how to wrestle because, you know, he can only do about 6 or 7 moves. That's it. Hulk Hogan, he's only 4 to 5 moves because they're so big. You know, when you got a big guy that has to reach down, you got a guy at 6'1", and your guy is 5'8", and he has to reach down. The minute he reaches down to get you, you got a headshot. You can wrap him up in a small package. You know, there's all kinds of things you can do to a tall guy. Leg downs, leg locks, you know, ankle locks. There's so many things you can do to a guy that's tall. So big guys really don't have an advantage. Hulk Hogan, I love you, brother, but he can only punch you, do a leg drop on you, clothesline you, you know, or, you know, basically that's it. He can't do any other wrestling moves. He's too big.
Yeah, he did like some of the power moves, you know, like probably like the Ultimate Warrior, I assume, right?
No, the Ultimate Warrior, he could wrestle, but again, he was down to about maybe 7 moves. Hogan's down to 4 moves. Guys who are 5'8", 5'9", you know, you're smaller, more compact, and as long as you don't blow them arms out like, you know, Big Daddy Papa, you know, where you got 32-inch arms, you can't even pick your nose. You know, those guys can't wrestle. That's all they can do is manhandle you. You get a good wrestler in there, he'll beat any strong guy out there. You could like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he used to be all blown out. You put him in a wrestling ring, he get his butt kicked because he can only do certain things: grab you, punch you, or slam you down. But as far as doing moves coming off the ropes, they can't do this stuff. They're just too big. They're too bulky. Bulk is not where it's at. People
don't got the.
Yeah, they don't have the agility. Oh, you know, you got to be big to be a wrestler. I'm 5'8". I fought guys 6'1", a Diesel, a Hulk Hogan. I fought a lot of these guys who were 6'1", 7 foot tall, and I like those big guys because see, big trees fall easy. Little trees are hard to pull out of the ground, you know.
Yeah, I've had my experiences with bigger guys. I always used to train with the bigger, taller guys when I was cage fighting because when it got to the smaller ones, it seemed like it was a little easier for me because I'm already small as it is. But the ones that were big, if you can handle them, you know, it's not so bad.
And, you know,
that's the way I always look at it.
Exactly. You know, when you got a guy that's the same size of you, it's a lot easier to wrestle versus somebody that's really big. We were talking earlier about wrestling midgets. Again, they're 2 foot tall. You reach down, he's going to beat the living crap out of you when you're reaching down. You know, plus they got them little short arms. Bang, they hit you in the head. You know, I mean, they're looking at your business. So you got to reach down and fight somebody. It's hard to fight someone taller or smaller than you. It really is, you know. And being a wrestler, also, you got to be quick with your mouth. You got to be able to do, you know, your TV interviews. You know, you got to be able to. You have to be out there for the people. You know what I'm saying? I played a good guy for a long time, and then I became a heel. And you know, I did one of the very first TV interviews, and I never did a TV interview. And you know, I was always a radio guy and in the entertainment. And a matter of fact, I'll give you a clip of it. I came out the very first day on NWA, and they said, "You're on in 5 minutes." I'm like, okay, whatever. Had a bad hangover, hanging out with the Four Horsemen and shit. So I get there, and they said, "You're on." I said, "Last night I had a dream. The great Buddha Bandine, the lady with the third eye, she walked down the 13th step of the pyramid. She said, 'Ravish and Randy, you are the chosen one, brother, to wear that gold around your waist.' I saw the vision. Lightning was striking. Asphalt was flying. I saw the thunder clapping. I saw the dream that I would win. 1, 2, 3. They're going to get this guy off TV, never put him on here again." You know, because other wrestlers come out there. Yeah, tonight I got a match. Yeah, got a match. I'm going to fight a big guy tonight, you know, and it's going to be a great match. Make sure you see it. Oh, yeah, look at these big guns. Yeah, I got big guns. You know, you got to walk the talk. You know, you got to have a little enthusiasm in what you're talking about. If you're going to talk the crap, you got to be able to walk the crap. You know what I'm saying? To beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Right, exactly. So were you at the beginning of the era or the end of the era? And this may be rumor, so you could verify this. But when they used to have a championship match, did they actually turn guys loose for those matches and let them go and whatever happened?
Well,
Or
here's
was
what
it
happened.
still the same as it is now?
No, today everything's choreographed. Everything is, it's to sell tickets. Uh, WWE, it's a family entertainment. So you have a storyline. You know what I'm saying? Back in our day, they say, okay, Randy, you're the champion tonight. Do you want to go over? Well, yeah, I want to go over. I want to stay champion. Well, you got to pull it off and you've got to pin your opponent. Okay. So right away, I know I've actually got to go out and pin that person. Now, if I don't pin him, he wins it. Now, I can say, hey, I want another match. But if I want to sell tickets tonight and I want people to, I'd go out there and do a sympathy match. I get my ass handed to me all night long for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And then I say, okay, here's my super move. Light into it, bang. People only remember the first part and the last part of a wrestling match. So I always wanted people to remember how I won. But then sometimes where they cheated, hit me with brass knuckles or, smash me in the leg with something or hit me with something in my head, and you're kind of dazed and I would get counted out. But as far as being pinned to the ring, I've had over 700 something fights that I can remember. And I'll be honest with you, actually I've had about 3,000 to 4,000 fights, but 700, I didn't really ever get pinned. It was disqualification or no countouts match or something like that, So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But my day, it wasn't rehearsed. You went out there, you did your thing, and today they sell tickets. They're gonna have Brock Lesnar. He's gonna win for the next 6 months because I got to sell $1 million worth of Brock Lesnar T-shirts. Or whoever they got going. Today it's changed. It's a business.
Right.
And I shared those secrets, which I probably shouldn't have shared, but I did. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I kind of already knew about some of them anyhow, like I said, because coming from the martial arts background and being a wrestling enthusiast, because I used to watch it from when I was just a little kid, and you can tell how things are kind of somewhat set up if you're in martial arts, because some of the things you go by your right hand or your left hand, you're a southpaw or etc. Right. And a lot of people don't notice that when you're wrestling, but I mean, if you've been trained, you can kind of pick up certain things by just watching them. So, and especially some of the falls that you wrestlers did were actually martial arts falls to begin with.
Exactly. See, we wrestle in America, we wrestle on the right side of the body. Mexico, they wrestle on the left side of the body. So if you're going to throw somebody, we grab them from the right and throw them. They grab you from the left. I can do both. I wrestled with the Mexicans for about a year, and so I learned both sides. So when I fought a Hispanic or Mexican wrestler, I would start off on their side, but if I'm going to beat this guy, I've got to change up. So I would change up that we'll call it a southpaw. I would change up and start wrestling on the right side, which confuses them because they don't know what to do. Because they don't wrestle a lot of white American guys. Now the ones in Mexico, they come to the American gyms and learn both also, because otherwise they can't make it in the business.
Right. If anybody is watching on my personal page, Sean Ellis, my Facebook profile page, because I am broadcasting on that as well, we are not able to see your comments. So if you go to the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Facebook page or the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal channel for YouTube, we will be able to see your comments. So if we're not seeing them right now, I apologize. We've been trying to work on that for a little while. We don't know why it's not working, but I've been broadcasting on all 3 pages just to show off the show a little bit and etc. So, but if you're on my personal page, if you'd like to switch over, to the Eternal X Wolf Pack Paranormal page for Facebook so we can see your comments. We will be happy to answer them for you.
Hey, look,
We've
Big
got
George
Mr.
Lunsford's
George
in the
Lunsford.
room. George Lunsford, the master of disaster, the king of sting of Bigfoot's out in the room tonight with us.
Right. I actually got to meet him on your show one night. He's pretty good.
He's an awesome guy. He's got an awesome show. He's actually, this is cool. I'm going to share this with you guys because nobody else knows about this. It's going to be heard first time right here on your show, Sean. He is making
cool.
They're making a cartoon, which is Randy has a lot of hits in his head. You're damn right I do. I love you, George. We're actually making a cartoon called The Adventures of Rocken, Randy, and George. And it's going to be kind of a Simpsons type of thing where I'm a wrestler wrestling Bigfoot and aliens and all kinds of crazy stuff through portholes and stuff. And it's gonna be a hit. I'm telling you what, everybody's gonna want to watch this, and the comic books are gonna come out. And George he's a hell of a writer. If you ain't got none of George Lunsford's books, you need to get him. The guy is awesome.
That's cool. That's
George,
pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
He's an awesome
really
guy.
Cool.
Tell you what, I had him on my show. I had him on my show. I had him laughing so hard. He goes, I've never laughed this hard in my life doing anything like I did with you. Dude, you got to have him on your show. He's an awesome guy. He's great. He's got one of them hearty laughs. And I'll tell you what, anybody that's into Bigfoot, he's got some good pictures of the dog man, the Bigfoot. The guy's a really good investigator. And he's just a downright good guy.
Well, we'll definitely get him scheduled for the show. That's for sure. That will definitely be in the making. So you also, if I remember right, the pictures that you sent me, you held the world heavyweight title and the tag team titles?
I've held world heavyweight title. I've held the mid-states heavyweight title. I've held the tag team title, 6-man tag team title, a television title, regular tag team. If there was a belt on there, pretty much I wanted the big ones. I had a television title. I was only like for 3 weeks, and I got sick, and well, all of a sudden, I lost my belt when I didn't lose my belt because, if you don't wrestle in so many days for your title, they can take it away from you.
Right. George Lunsford says, you are the man.
No, you're the man. George be the man. Because the Rock and Randy said George is the man. It's like Sean is the man.
I'm just me, guys. That's the way I am.
I've done a little of everything.
Yeah. I have too, honestly. I mean, like I said, I used to play on high school, track, martial arts, cage fighting. I was a tumbling teacher for tram for my daughters, JFL football coach for about 6 years. So yeah, I've had plenty of experiences in a lot of things, and even a paranormal investigator, and now a podcast host. So,
well, I started out wrestling. Then I got into the music business. I was vice president for Next Star Record Company. I traveled with a lot of country stars, rock stars. I do magic. I performed here in Las Vegas doing stand-up comedy. I sing. I've got over 400 some songs on YouTube. On the internet radio, not my show, but on other radio, on internet radio that plays worldwide for everybody also. I'm usually in the top 10. And I sing everybody else's songs. I just make them mine. So I do impersonations of Elvis, Johnny Cash, Neil Diamond, Conway Twitty. I do voices like Archie Bunker and Edith Bunker. I do a lot of the presidents. That's right. Ask Hillary. She'll say, I'm the prez. Oh, it's good to be a Clinton. I do. I like to. So I've always been in the entertainment business, and I had my own TV shows in Florida, my own radio shows. I moved to Vegas, and I couldn't get an entertainment license here, so I opened up my own radio show and I started doing stand-up comedy, singing, and now I'm doing a podcast show of my own and meeting great people like I have, like you and George Lunsford and David Bruce and Tracy Jones and Steve Calls and Robert Solomon. You know, I met a bunch of great people, and you know, yeah, Dave, we can see how you doing, brother. You know, it's just great to meet a bunch of good guys and podcasters. I made a lot of new friends, and I'm so blessed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, doing podcasts, you meet a lot of great people, meet a lot of great teams, and it's humbling, you know, to be able to talk to them, interact with them, learn new things. I mean, and share your information out with them and stuff, you know, and be a family, and not how do I say, be some of these ones that's out there now that's causing some issues, but we'll leave it at that. But
well, I'm on everybody's Facebook page, or I see all these people. I go to their pages to check them out before I have them on my show, and there's always controversy. They're fighting. You know, my show's better than your show, or you stole this from my show, or that guest was on my show and you took them off my show. You know, everybody get in the same sandbox, have a good time and play. That's what it's all about. You know, I mean, you come on my show, we talk about the things you do, and George Lunsford comes on my show, and I'm not jealous if he's on your show. I want him to be on your show. You know, that's what it's a networking. Dave Bruce, Dave and I used to be partners in doing a show together, and excuse me, you know, he has guests. I have the same guests. It's a family thing. You have to work together in the podcast business.
Right. And like I said, I've met a lot of great people, and I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes with a lot of great teams here. And we've got some investigations coming up where I'm teaming up with some of them as well. I lost Randy right now. Hopefully he pops back on here real quick. Lost connection. Send him a text here. Make sure he's so he'd be able to come back on here in a second. But yeah, I've met a lot of great teams that I'll be teaming up with, you know, here in the next few weeks. There he is.
I don't know what happened. I was talking and it disappeared. I saw it was down on the bottom. I just went and hit my camera stopped. It said. Yeah,
he just kind of flickered and then went off.
Hey, can't keep the good man down. I'm back, Jack. That's right. We don't care who's watching. Woo! This show is going to rock and roll tonight because I'm on Sean Ellis's Eternal X Wolf Pack Paranormal. That's where I'm at. Hey, Sean, we've been working on stuff in our shows and nobody else knows about. Why don't you play your theme song that we're advertising across the bottom?
All righty. Hang on here a second.
I think everybody out there in podcast land needs to hear the big guy song.
Mr. Randy Stewart on Friday afternoon sent me a text message and created a theme song for the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Show. And that's why I'm flashing that at the bottom. So Randy wrote it and he created it and he turned it over to me. So I got to give Randy credit and I thank him very much for this. So this is the debut premiere of the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Podcast theme. So here we go.
Cryptic signals in the air, showing chats, none compare. Show tells a tale so bold, computer lights burning cold. Podcast streaming through the mist, welders' hands create. enigma echoes through the cyberspace. Truth or myth, we start to chase. Running with the wolf pack now. Bigfoot knows we can't back down. Werewolves howling at the moon. Cemeteries tales in tune. In the night, through wired dreams, thunder cracks, we rip at seams. Ghostly whispers guide our light. With the pack, we'll take the night.
Oh yeah, brother. Woo!
It definitely does. It definitely does kick you off. I do like it. I do appreciate you making that for us.
Hey, and
So
you know
when
something,
is the
Sean?
release on the TV?
That's what's to hype this up.
What?
Sean has got some great music. It comes in different versions too. It's a great song. Guys need. I don't know what he's selling it for, but buy them. They're good. It supports his show and anything we can do. Man, get the music. I hope we should put an album out and make the album kick ass. You see that background back there? That's Sean. Sean, show him that background with you down there with the girl on the left side. This is a kick ass picture. This should be an album cover, bro.
Hang on, I'll remove us so they can see it. Hang on.
Show 'em.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna tweak it a little bit for that, and then we'll get it fixed out where we can get them going. We got several different versions of that.
Brother.
We got several different versions Randy's made of that song for us. So, like I said, I appreciate it very much. It kicks ass. I like it.
We got kind of a heavy metal one there too. It's really cool. Deadpool says he likes it.
Yeah, so does George.
George Lenford says, good job. Yeah, this is, I'm telling you, man, your show is going to the top, bro. It's growing in numbers, getting bigger every day. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. It takes a lot of work. I mean, behind the scenes, we all, as co-hosts and podcasters, we have to do the scheduling, get a hold of people, make sure it's all right. Before the shows, you come in early and make sure all the connections are right and etc. I mean, it takes a lot of work to sit there, during the week, and start doing stuff. And then you got to do the research on the people as well. So,
yep. Hey, I get up at 8. I'm up at 8 o'clock in the morning, man. And my day don't end till 9, 10 o'clock at night being on the phone, finding people for the show. I produce Tracy Jones's White Witch, Paranormal White Witch show. And, she's on every Monday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I produce that show besides doing my show. And then, trying to get all the things together. It's a job, and people sponsoring the shows and sponsoring and advertising, man. That's what keeps us going. It keeps it because it's not cheap to do these shows. You know what I'm saying? It's out of your time. Your time is worth something, and to make a great show. And you've always had great shows. I try to have great shows. Tracy tries to have great shows, with her guests. And, you have some good people and you have some bad people. And then when people cancel on you, then you're like stuck. You got to find someone to take that spot. And sometimes that's hard too, because everybody's doing podcasts or they're going out swimming or, they're doing something,
Right. And like I said, hello, Ms. Jamie Lynn Keller and Ms. Pam Harris. They're in the house. Jamie Lynn Keller is Paranormal Party. And I will be teaming up with her in August. And I will be seeing her actually next weekend at Broadhead Manor when they got the big expo going on up there. And Miss Pam Harris is from Serene Divine. And I am co-host with her on her show. as well.
Now, is
And
that
Pam
Jamie Lynn?
says,
Is that the girl who was on your show the other night? You had the three
no.
girls on the show? No?
Oh yeah, Jamie Lynn was one of them. Yeah, she was the one. Yeah, she's one of them.
Hey, Jamie, I watched you on the show the other night. Awesome. Nice, good show, girl.
So you know, Sean, you had a few other followers watching you and your personal page. Yeah, like I said, I got to get that kind of fixed and tweaked. I don't know exactly why it's doing that, but I'm going to end up looking into it and trying to get that fixed so that they can actually respond off there. There's a couple things that could be doing it, and I've been looking into it and trying to get it fixed before this show, and I didn't get it done yet. George Lunsford says, cool. And as Jamie Lynn says, you are stalking me, Sean, and I like it. Jamie's a really cool gal, man. She's a paranormal investigator as well. She's got a great, and like I said, even Miss Pam Harris and Serene Divine, she reads tarot cards and she does a really good job at it as well. So thanks, Randy. I heard the song and it's freaking sweet. She likes it too.
You need to send her the other let her hear the other versions one day. These songs
I'll kind of play them a little at a time. I'll let them kind of grow on, and then I'll release a new one here every once.
You know what you got to do, Sean? You got to play only half of the song as a teaser.
True.
Play teasers. Don't give them the whole thing. You know, give them little teaser bits. So you know they want to hear the whole song. We'll figure out how they're going to hear it. Pam Harris, I love you too. You know, you guys are great. I can have you guys on my show one day, on the Body Slamming Conversation. I'll have you and Sean on my show, and we'll just sit back and kick it out. You know what I'm saying?
She said, "Don't just tease us, damn it."
All right, we won't teasers. Hey, we're not teasers. We're pleasers. Woo, you know why? Because we are the ultimate. We are the tag team of podcast.
Yeah, Jamie. Like I said, Jamie's got a great sense of humor. So does Pam.
That's what makes a good show. When you got people that got a good sense of humor, you know.
Yeah. And George goes, LOL. So we know you've been a wrestler. We know you've talked a little bit about your singing career. Do you want to kind of highlight on that a little bit, or do you want to talk a little bit
Sure,
about?
we'll highlight anything. It's from the age of 2 years old. My mother, I never talked. I always sang. I was like Elvis Presley movies, you know. They say, "Do you want a glass of water?" I said, "I'll have a glass of water, please." And my mother said, you know, most kids say mommy, daddy, not me. I was MICKEYMOUSC. I mean, because that was our babysitter. And Mickey Mouse Club, you know, wasn't a lot to watch on TV back in the 60s. So I sang everything. And my mother used to teach me all my school lessons. I could read a book and it was like I was stupid. But she would sing me the book. Like I was in school, I had to take a test, and it was for the Alamo. So she says, Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie went to the Alamo, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm doing the test. That's how I'm singing and doing all the years and stuff in my head. So singing was always in my blood. And I got older, and I sang on stage with Willie and Merle and JT Curtis and a bunch of you know, country stars and rock stars and stuff like that. And I just started, you know, I love entertaining and the music. I got, like I said, over 400 songs on YouTube. I sing everything. I sing gospel, oldies, rock, Michael Jackson songs, Skeeter Davis songs, like Dolly Parton songs. I sing a little of everybody, male or female. I make it my own, and you know, and that's what makes it true to music, when you can take something and make it your own. You know, so check out me on YouTube. It's Randy Stewart on YouTube. There's over 400 videos. I love gospel music. I'm also an evangelist preacher. People don't know that. So if you
have a great night, Jamie, we'll catch you later.
Bye, Jamie. So you know, I love music and I love singing and I love doing magic, like I said. And since I got out of the wrestling business, music has just come to me more and more. I record probably 2 or 3 songs a week.
Well, it definitely shows when you made the theme song for us. You know, you wrote the lyric or the words for it and everything else. So, I mean, you did one hell of a job. And
It's,
plus you made 3 or 4 different versions of it. So,
yeah,
yeah.
I love making music. I've been in the studio. I mean, with the Silver Eagle band, JT Curtis. I've been in the studio with Little Wayne. I actually had Little Wayne's band playing uh, Johnny Cash music. I never heard it before, and I recorded
George.
Folsom Prison Blues with them, with an all
Mhm.
black band, Little Wayne's band, and they were like, "Oh, crazy! George is leaving us already. Oh, he's
Yeah,
probably
he
going to work
says that.
the way."
He said, "Have a good night and God bless on both of you."
Hey, buddy, good night. Love you.
So, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love singing. I love entertaining. I love to make people laugh. I like to make a friend every day, make somebody laugh every day.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I know when me and you sit here and talk because we normally talk at least once a day or every other day or so, and I tell you what, you got me in stitches once in a while, and I know I get you just as well. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I learned with Sean, you just don't leave that door open when you say something, because he is going to get you. And I love him for it, because I do the same thing. I think I can say this on your show. We're ball busters. You know what I'm saying? We do that all night to each other. You know, and it's so much fun just hanging out with you. I wish we lived closer together, because I'm telling you what, we'd be rocking Vegas, brother.
yeah, definitely. Hell, I'd take you out on some investigations with us. It'd be hellacious.
I would love to go on some investigations. You know, only thing I know is I have to outrun you if something comes after us.
I heard somebody else say that before, but I'm not going to repeat what I said after.
All I know is I got to outrun you first.
Oh, the real Randy, please stand up.
I can't. I have no pants on.
Only you.
I do my shows. I do my shows with shirts only. Now the secret's out.
Only you. So, like I said, you've been a wrestler, you're a singer, you're a podcaster.
Yes, sir.
Who is some of the how do I say this? What is some of your best podcasts that you've done, and who was on them at the time?
You know something? You mean my best host I've had on my podcast show,
Yeah,
or the best person I've had on my
the one
show?
that you thought, the one that you kind of thought was the best. I mean, everybody's kind of got one of those shows. Damn, that was a really good show tonight, you know. And I know I've had several guests that way, but what I guess I should say this: which one kind of stands out the most? That's probably a better way to say it. Which one kind of stands out the most?
When I did the Room of 10, when I had 10 hosts on my show at one time, and we broke Facebook down. Facebook had over 200,000 listeners, and I crunched it. Elvis did the world's largest concert. I did the world's largest podcast show. YouTube said, we'll catch the last hour and a half, because Facebook said, no, you guys are killing us, because everybody was advertising and watching it, sending it to their friends. Instead of just saying, go to my page, they were putting it on their page, and it went on and on and on. And when you got 10 of the greatest hosts, you're one of those 10 that was on there. I think, to me, that's the biggest and best show I could ever say I'd done, because I crunched Facebook to the max. You know, it was a 3-hour show. They only showed an hour and a half, but I got the other hour and a half on YouTube. And I think that's my greatest show, when I had everybody: Tracy Jones, George Lunsford, David Bruce, yourself, Sean, Steve Calls, Elijah Henderson. I mean, when you take guys who've been out there doing this for a while and you have them in one room, that's the greatest show. And Sean, you made me a promise. You remember their promises at the end of July?
Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try.
We're gonna try Sean's gonna bring 10. I'm gonna bring 10, and we're gonna crunch YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Snapchat. We're going to close them all down.
We're gonna give it a chance. We're gonna give it a shot. That's for sure.
Go big or get out.
I remember that night because, like I said, not only were you broadcasting out, I was broadcasting out on 3 of my channels. Everybody, I think, on the show was broadcasting out on some of theirs, and it just went boom. So
yeah. And that girl L'Oreal, the other witch, she's the white. Tracy's the white witch. I don't know if L'Oreal's a white witch or black witch, but she has over 200,000 because she does a TV show. So she said on her page, so everybody watches her on her TV show was posting it and watching it. And Facebook said, we can't handle this. And I went to Facebook prison for they threw me out for 189 days. I got back out within 24 hours. But man, what a way to go out. You know, if you're going to go out with a bang. You know, like I said, Elvis did the world's largest concert. We did the world's largest podcast. And Sean, your podcast at the end of July, if you pull it off, will be larger than mine.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get it done. We'll work on something.
So if everybody sees this podcast and we're not on here anymore, you'll know why.
Might have to do it toward the end of the year so we get a break. So between season 1 and season 2, and then if we do get thrown in jail, they know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, Butch and Sundance are now off the air.
But yeah, that night was something else because I mean, everybody, the computers were locking up and everything.
Oh yeah, they were telling me to take commercial breaks on Facebook. You can't have over 10 people viewing and doing this. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, we're gonna do whatever, and we did, and I pulled it off. And Sean, everybody that listens to this show tonight, when Sean advertises, we're doing the big bash, the crash. We're gonna call it the bash of podcast. What a name! It's gonna be bigger than WrestleMania. It's gonna be bigger than the Clash of Champions. It's gonna be bigger than my show, anybody's show. This is gonna be knockout performances.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll probably have to schedule probably honestly toward the end of the year, just in case something does happen. Because, you know, when it crashes and they lock you out, that's normally for about 3 weeks. So if they're going to do it, I'm going to take it during Christmas vacation.
I got good lawyers. I'll get us back on. I got me back on in 24 hours.
Hello, Yvette Edui. Hope I pronounced your last name right. Thanks for stopping in. Haunting Angels are in the house.
Pam says a Bash Crash podcast.
There you go. Gotta run, guys. Talk later. Take care. Great to meet you, Randy.
Great to meet you, Pam.
And then she said the Bash Crash podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's what we got. We got to do this. We got to make this happen.
Yeah. Like I said, that night the 10 of us were on, that was definitely something else.
I would say was probably my best and favorite show.
I guess I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree. Even though it wasn't my show, I thought that was pretty cool because I was a part of that. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
You're a part of legendary history.
Like I said, I know you got a lot of words for that show because you showed me.
Dude, I got a lot of snap, crackle, and pops on my end, and it was crazy. I mean, they booted me out. If I had a message to you in Messenger, your stuff was there. They took all my writings down.
Yeah,
you know, you couldn't even find me. Dave Bruce was trying to find me. He goes, I'll find you. He goes, you're nowhere to be found. I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, they took me off the net.
Yeah. So nobody could watch it at the time because, like I said, it was crashing everything.
Well, it's up. I put it back online. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it back up again the last hour and a half. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably post it tomorrow, and I'm going to call it the greatest show ever. You know, because it really was in my books.
Yeah, that definitely was something else.
And like you see what Deadpool says down there in the bottom.
Yeah. If Facebook is trying to shut you down, it means you're doing something right. Yeah, I think
That's right.
I think a lot of us podcasters know that already, but it does hold a lot of water.
You know, and the thing is, they take you down, but it's like Trump says, every time they indict him, it's a badge of honor. That's the way I look. They throw me in Facebook jail every other day. But to me, that's a badge of honor because I'm doing something they don't want people to hear or to see. You know what I'm saying? And that's what getting out the truth about certain things and letting people know there is such a thing as a Bigfoot, there is such a thing as a wolf man and a dog man, and people who are aliens with with skin put over the top of them, and hookers just ain't hookers, they're people, strippers have feelings too. I mean, it's a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? And when you tell the truth, they don't like to hear the truth, so they do knock you out of the box. So yeah, Deadpool, you are right, man.
Yeah, I know I know you said, I'm always welcome on the show, but there's been times I'm sitting in the background on your show doing investigating parts and checking things out and verifying some things too, so not necessarily that I'm being seen, but sometimes I'm lingering in the background of Randy's podcast.
You're like this. You're like the Sherlock Sean of the podcast for me when I'm talking to people. There's a lot of people out there that are bullshitters. They'll come up and give you some crazy stories about giants and all this stuff they got on their properties and being crazy. And a lot of people want 10 minutes of fame. And we're not out here to give you 10 minutes of fame. We're out here to get to know that person, learn the truth, and learn something. Even though my show's kind of crazy, I still try to make it educational. It's the same thing with you or Robert Salone or David Bruce or Tracy. We're all out there trying to get to, everybody thinks like Tracy. Oh, she's a witch. Oh my God, I don't want to be on her show. I don't want to talk to her. She's going to cast a spell. She's not like that. She's a white witch, and she helps people with their problems. She'll help you with your future, help you with your love problems and stuff like that. She ain't gonna give you the lottery numbers. I tried, but that's yeah. You got the lottery numbers for this week, No, I can't get. Oh, come on, Trace, we're friends. No, I said okay, and I guess we won't. But witches, and not all witches are bad, and not all podcasters are bad, and these people need to quit fighting and just get along. And I love doing shows. And you and I, you work behind the scenes a lot of time, and I tell you, you're always welcome to jump in my show. I don't care who's on there. If you want to get on in the studio, clip on, jump on. And I know, you're not like that. I wish you would be like that. But you sit in the background, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, I do some checking for you. When the things are going on, I'll look for stuff. So that's definitely for sure. Witches. I actually have 2 witches on my paranormal team, to be honest with you. I get along with them just fine.
My witch is a modern day witch. She don't ride a broom anymore. She rides a Hoover.
I feel like it's not what people think. It's when I think witches, I think flowers and homeopathic remedies. Yeah,
That's
I mean, the more up to date things, and crystals and stuff like that, and healing and remedies. I will agree with that. They've got a lot of knowledge, and it's always good to have one on the team. And I like the ones that's on my team because, like I said, I have 2 of them. I also have actually 3 others that are like me. And then I also have one that's Viking lore. So he follows the Viking side of stuff. So that's an interesting thing as well, because he's like following Odin and some of their laws. So, but yeah, it gets interesting, especially when you got like a mixed team and you all get along. So that's one of the things that's good.
Sean, I'm into Bigfoot really big. I've had demons in my house. I've had ghosts in my house. I've had a demon inside me. My wife actually cast it out of me. And Tracy, first time I talked to her, I didn't really know her except for she was on my show for the Cast of 10. Mm-hmm. And I talked to her for like 4.5 hours. And she taught me things and said, this is this and this is that. And same thing you do. I call you on the phone and say, hey, Sean, this is what's happening. Man, let me, you're there to help. And the white witches, I told Tracy the other day, I said, she's trying to learn about Bigfoot. And I said, Bigfoot's really interesting, but being in the witch, the witch stuff and the portholes and stuff like that, all this cryptic stuff comes together. Witches are cryptic, Bigfoot's cryptic, shamans are cryptic. Everything's got a cryptic to it. So it's a family that we can all learn from. And I've learned so much from you guys, the ball of energy and, the being a night dream walker as I am and stuff like that. It's so educational to me to have friends like you that I've met and like Tracy, Tracy laughs, giggles. She puts her pants on just like any other person does. She cuts up, and she's not, I want people to don't think of her as an evil person, she's not,
No, she's definitely not an evil person. And actually, she'll be joining up here next to your sponsorship underneath the 20 here. As soon as I get her logo done, she'll be a sponsor of our show as well. So Tracy Jones, the Paranormal White Witch, will also be a sponsor, just like WROK FM radio with Rocken Randy right here that we're talking to tonight.
Hey, man. Yeah, and she loves her show. And she said, could she sponsor? I said, yes, sponsor that show. Sean's got an awesome show. You know what I'm saying? And I love your show, bro. I mean, people who haven't seen your show need to watch your show. Everybody in our little realm has a good show. I watched Dave Bruce's show last night. It was really good till President got shot. And of course, I got to watch the President or everything else because it's news to me. I like stuff like that. But
right,
the Bigfoot and the shaman stuff and the witchery and and it's good to have different people on your team. It's good to have, because not one person knows it all, and we all learn from each other.
Exactly.
And with the crystals and different lights and different flowers and home remedies you can learn. Like my hand, I got bit by my dog, and I never thought about it, but you said, hey, put in some Epsom salt and soak it. Man, look at my hand. I can move my hand now. Where I couldn't move it 2 days ago. I've been soaking it.
It was pretty well kind of purplish black when I seen it last time. So
yeah, it was. So little things like that help a lot. And it's good to have different people with different skills and different powers and stuff like that work together and be together. And you're going to have an awesome team. I know, and I see it. And if I come to Illinois, I definitely want to go do a hunt with you guys, or I'll go to the cemetery as long as you're in front of me. But we'll go and check it out, and I would love to try that. And I want to do a Bigfoot hunt back in Tennessee. I've seen Bigfoot several times. So Bigfoot is real. I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested 2 or 3 times, but it's great that you got friends like that you can deal with and work with, bro.
Right. Definitely so. Hello, Miss Susan Victoria. How are you tonight? She is from her show. She's Paranormal Happy Hour. And I've been on her show as well. She does a really great show as well. And actually, I will be on her show. She was on my show. I'll be on her show here next month. So,
well, make sure I get a listing. I'll put it up on my Facebook. Cool. Make sure I get a listing of that night you're going to be on there. I'll put her up on the show. And see, Dave missed what we talked about earlier in that question. See that?
Yeah. he'd have all the midgets out there already.
Dave, the word is we're going to do the show, and I'm going to wear pink tights with Dave's picture on it.
Yeah, like I said, if you happen to get down here, I got plenty of room. You can stay here and crash, and we can definitely go on an investigation.
Deadpool's in Tennessee.
You can definitely. Yeah.
Hey, Deadpool,
he is in Tennessee.
Is he in West Tennessee, East Tennessee, Mid Tennessee?
I'm not sure. It says I'm in Tennessee. I'll do a Bigfoot hunt with you. I'm free at times. It's like an event or just going to wander the woods.
Well, I won't go with a joke about the woods real quick. I could go with this, but if you'll send me or put in there where you're at or get a hold of me, you're in Nashville, 45 minutes away. I can tell you where you can find you a Bigfoot. Last time I saw him there was November. It was November 2016 when he stole 2 deer off a rack and went up a hill. And we shot at him, and he's been around there for years since I was a little boy. It was my first encounter was with that same Bigfoot back in Tennessee. So there is I'll tell you where it's at. It's in Waverly, Tennessee. If you want the directions how to get there, I've got a buddy, Elijah Henderson. He lives in Clarksville. He's like 30 minutes away. You guys can meet up and go do I'll even do a live podcast for my show while you guys are in the woods. Love to do something like that.
It'd definitely be interesting. If I end up getting down that way, like I said, I'll team up with Elijah or two. And like I said, even if I come up to Vegas, we'll do something up there.
Bro, I've got a place that, matter of fact, they just put it on the map of places to be seen. It's a 45-minute ride outside of Las Vegas, and they've got haunted trains, and they've got they got these stones. What do they call that? The ones that got over the stones that you can't go touch anymore. The ones that stand up. I can't think of the name. Stonehenge.
I'm not sure which
Stonehenge.
Oh, Stonehenge.
Yeah, they got a man-made Stonehenge, and they got aliens on the top of him, and he's got the lines of the map of the world where all these things cross. My wife and I were there. We were on this she took a picture of me standing next to the railroad station. And as she snaps the picture, there's a ghost looking out the window at me. I'm like, we didn't see this till afterwards. We got home. But we got on the train, and I took a picture of her with a conductor's hat on and stuff, playing on the train. Well, we took a selfie. And when we took the selfie, Sean, there was 2 people standing in front of us. I have longer hair. My hair was short and gray. My wife's hair is long, and it was an older lady with her hair pulled up in a bun. And they were actually standing in front of us. In front of us, you could barely see us because they were standing in front of the camera. It's like they slipped through us. We didn't see that until we got home, but there's a lot of spooky stuff there. And Vegas has a lot of spirit places, a lot of demon places. So yeah, you could spend a week here doing the spook stuff. I mean, seriously. We got a lot of haunted cemeteries from back in the 1600s with the old gold miners in the 1800s. And I mean, yeah, a lot of haunted silver mines, gold mines, Indian burial grounds and stuff like that. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to see in Vegas. It's just not gambling.
Right. That's definitely cool. So you've also had a paranormal experience yourself. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I had a paranormal experience when I lived in West Vegas. I had a roommate that said he was a closet eater, and every morning I got up, there was dishes in the sink. So I said, I'm going to catch him. So I bought some cameras and I put them in the house. And the very first night I had the cameras in the house, I had a mirror. It was between my main doorway and my laundry room, went to the garage. And this ball of light would come out of that mirror and turn into a ribbon. Remember I showed you that ribbon picture that you showed me? I said, yeah. It would fly to every one of my cameras in the house. And then it would fly upstairs. One night it flew upstairs, and George was in bed, and he said it was a naked woman, solid white, laying in the bed with him. And I said, did you get a little of that ghost, And he said, no, man, I was so scared I pulled the covers over my head. And I've actually seen that stream, that ribbon, turn into a person, a black shadow, and walk through my French doors. And I said, it scared me. So I called up Jimmy Swagger and a couple other preachers that I know. I said, listen, I got to get rid of this. And they said, well, here's how you get rid of it. So I went up in front of my door. I opened up my door, and I said the prayer they told me to say. And I said, I'm casting you out. Well, I said what I did. And when I got into the house, I went to shut the door. And I've got those 24 by 24 tile floors in my foyer. It slapped me so hard in the back of the head, I flew in the air and landed on my floor, on my belly, sliding across the terrazzo floor. And the door slammed. And I went, okay, I think I got rid of it. So I moved out of there right after that. I showed the landlord, and he's like, well, maybe that's why he had problems. I'm like, yeah. And then I was here in Vegas. My wife and I moved here. She's been here now 8 years. She kept saying, I could see deep in you. She's like, I look in your eyes and you have no soul. I'm like, you're so full of crap. And we would argue and fight. So she's about 5'1", 120 pounds. And she said something. I went down the hallway being pissed. I went to open the door and she snatched me by my head, just like this, one hand. And she started rebuking and reading stuff out of the Bible. Now I got both of my hands around her wrist, trying to pull it off my head. I could not remove her hand. And the more she rebuked it and she casting this demon out of me, I was getting weaker and weaker and weaker, where I was actually on my hands and knees, and she still had a head held onto my forehead. And she casted this demon on me. All of a sudden, I started dry heaving. And I heaved, and all of a sudden, I let out this big, long, nasty, stinky belch out of me. And my body just felt like 1,000 pounds was lifted off of it. And, dude, as soon as that came out of me, she released me. I was on the floor weeping like a baby. I mean, literally, for days I wept. I couldn't watch TV. If I saw Bambi's mother get shot, I would cry. I couldn't watch any gospel. I couldn't read the Bible. I couldn't do anything because I was so relieved of that demon that was inside my body. Now, I don't tell a lot of people about that unless I'm preaching, but people can get demons in them and they need to be casted out. And when she casted that demon out of me, my life has been so much better. We don't argue. We don't fight. If we have an argument, it lasts about 10 minutes, if that. It's I love you every day. You know, we kid, we laugh. And believe it or not, demons can possess you. And
yeah, because it was like Roman Reigns in here every day.
My wife's here. She said it was like living with Roman Reigns every day. It was. I mean, there was a wrestling match in this house.
Every day.
It was SmackDown in the house every day because that demon was inside me. She would say stuff, and it just.
You would pick stuff with me for no reason. Pick fights.
Yeah, we would pick. I would pick fights with her for no reason, because that demon just didn't want her here, you know. And praise the Lord, give the power and the glory to the God above. She got that out of me, and I've been so much better after that. So, and I had another ghost experience. I was in the Cook County Jail, and
hang on a second, Andy. Deadpool 88 or Deadpool Head 88. Was it a sulfur belch? He asked.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was like rotten eggs, maybe type of smell. You know what I'm saying? It was bad, and it stunk. But I could see that. I could almost see the black coming out of me. It was like it was almost. You ever seen fireworks? How it smokes that light grayish black? That's what came out of me.
Mm-hmm.
One night I said,
Yeah.
I'm live.
Well,
yeah.
I will say this: being in the paranormal field and investigating things that I've seen, it's very rare. And I'm just being honest; it's very rare to actually see a demon possess somebody. But I have seen attachments to people that make them do weird things as well. But they're not demons. They're attachments that gets to them. They will make you do strange things as well. It's pretty rare to see a demon. And when you walk into a place like that, you definitely know something's up. I mean, without a doubt. But to me, it more sounds like you had an attachment that got to you, because an attachment will do the exact same thing you were talking about.
Well, you know, the very first time I had an experience with a ghost or a spirit, I was in Chicago. I had an ex-wife in New York, And I wasn't there. She kept saying someone messing with her car. Everything that went wrong, she reported. Well, they had a warrant for me to extradite me back to the state of New York. And I ended up getting locked up and I had an accident in the jail cell. And they put me in the Cook County Hospital. And they had both hands handcuffed to the bed and my feet handcuffed to the bed. And I had a guard at the foot, like sitting where they had one of those screens that wrapped around you, and there was a guard sitting there where they would come in and out. And I was like, oh, my Lord, what am I going to do? This and that. And this little old woman, all hunched over with a little shawl and a hoodie on, she come walking through the curtain. And the guard, if a nurse walked in, a guard would wake up. Anybody walked in, doc, he'd wake up. Right. What he do? Blah, blah. She walked in and she was talking to me just like I'm talking to you. And she said, hi. I said, hi, who are you? And she said, my name is Rose. I said, well, Rose, how you doing? And, I'm kind of in and out of this and scared at the same time. And she said, are you going to eat that food on your tray? I said, well, they had me handcuffed. I said, he won't unhandcuff me. I said, but you're more than welcome to it. So she was taking all this food off my tray and putting inside this little robe she had. And she said, can I do you a favor? I said, yeah. She says, can I pray with you? I said, well, I pray with you, but I'm kind of handcuffed to the bed. And she said, no, we'll pray. My hand was free from the handcuff. I mean, the handcuff was still locked. My hand was out of the handcuff. She held my hand. She prayed with me. She said, you're going to be out of here in 7 days. I said, well, I hope I'm out of here and I'm not going to New York, She said, no. She goes, you're going to be out of here. Don't worry about it. I said, could you call my mother and tell her where I'm at? And she said, you don't have to worry about it. I've already told her. I said, all right, cool. Well, she said, I'm going to leave you now. And I said, okay. Well, she gave me this little book of St. Anthony. And I still have the book here somewhere. Just a little Bible verses about St. Anthony. So as she's walking out the curtain, the nurse walks in. So in other words, they would have ran into each other belly to belly. And the nurse, I could see her go out and the nurse come in. And the guard walked up and goes, what are you doing? She goes, well, I got to check his food. He goes, well, he's not eating yet. He's still handcuffed. I go, no. She goes, he's not handcuffed. She goes, where'd your food go? I says, that lady took it. The one you passed her when you went through the curtain. She goes, honey, there was nobody passed me. The guy goes, nobody was in this room either. And we had a conversation. I'm like, wow, that's freaky. And exactly on the 6th day that night, I got a call saying I was being released. I was not being extradited back to New York. All charges dropped. And her name was Rose. And ever since then, I had these spirits. Like, I would see Rose in my sleep. I would have conversations with her. And she'd tell me this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Watch out for this person. And then, like I said, I don't know if that was Rose that got into my body that I had up on the west side. But when I got to here with my wife, Leah, maybe that's where it's, would you say it took over or something like that?
It's an attachment.
Right, attachment. That's what I'm looking for.
It takes over. Yeah. The attachment will actually attach onto you and it'll start making you do funny things like, let's say, for instance, an example from one of the investigations of our past that this young man was at the age of 12 and he started drinking coffee like a sieve. I mean, like a sieve, like it was no tomorrow. And the one that was attached to him, we found out was an older gentleman that actually lived in his house before, and he wanted to relive through the young boy's life because his life was so miserable. Right. He wanted to have another chance at it. So he kind of took some of the traits of the guy that kind of had him. So it's not actually a possession, but it was an attachment. And just like Deadpool here was asking, how do you know the difference between a demon and a ghost? Well, a demon, like you said in the first comment before, you smell sulfur. You smell death. You smell a lot of odd things. And when it comes over your ovulus, doesn't want to cooperate and do things like that. And like I said, it's very rare to come across something like that as well. But attachments, I've seen plenty of them. I have taken them out of my teammates before, not my new team, but my old team that I was on, and I've taken some out of them. And and they will attack you when you're at your lowest peak, like you're tired, you're beat up, you're drained, you're not feeling well. I mean, everything could be going to shit, and that's when they will attach, and they'll make their presence known. And the first time I was ever on an investigation, I seen a shamanic healer take that out of the little boy. We actually watched it with an SLS, and we had it on camera with our old team. He took it out of the boy, and you actually seen that SLS stick figure walk away from him and walk out of the back of the room after he was done.
Wow.
So, but yeah.
Well, hey, Deadpool wanted to know about the guard. You know, the guard thought the nurse unlocked me, and she said no, she didn't. And he asked me if I pulled my hand out, and I said, you know, I got big hands. I don't see my wrist. I said, that lady was in here, took my food. And he kept saying there was no lady in here. And the nurse kept saying there was no lady in here. He couldn't figure out. I kept telling him the lady unlocked it. It came off my arm. It just wasn't there, you know. And to this day, I can't explain it. I know the guard can't explain it. And I know when I left the hospital, the nurse said to me, she says, did you really see a woman? I said, yes. And she said, okay, that's all I want to know. So I don't know if they have a spirit that hangs around in the hospital and visits people that died there at the Chicago City Hospital or not, but it was weird. You know what I'm saying? And for my wife that did what she did, for my wife to do what she did was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Right. I mean, for being in a hospital where several people has passed away, I mean, you can't say that there's nothing strange going on in a hospital with as many people that's passed away, whether from tragic accidents or in the ER or whatever the case may be, because there's a lot of stuff that happens, you know, and they may not admit it, but, you know, it has happened. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Bruce, that everything's been going well since that happened. He said he's got that thing removed from his house finally.
Yeah, I talked to him today.
Not Bruce, but Dave, right?
Dave.
That was Dave, though, right? Yeah, Dave. My apologies. Dave, I'm glad you finally got rid of that after we've talked. And I know you and Tracy's been working on that. So that's really cool.
And you want to know something? I talked to him much as I talked to you, and even his exposure, his laughter, you can feel there's a different audience in his house. You know, when I talk to him on the phone, and I video chat him, and I don't see anything in the house anymore where I was seeing, you know, spooks standing behind him, you know, spirits behind him on the walls and stuff. And he's just turned around 110%. He's just, Dave is, he's more laughing now. He's not agitated. You know, I watched his podcast show last night. It was really good. There was nothing in there interfering with his show, and it's really helped him a lot getting that spirit out of his house.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I watched the show last night. He seemed to be in a lot better state of mind, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, he was, and I'm proud of him. He finally did it.
Yeah, I'm glad he finally did too. That's definitely for sure. Well, Randy, is there anything you'd like to say? We've been about an hour and a half almost here, and anything you'd like to shout out and promote, and what's going on with you before we go off the air?
You know, it's been a thrill and a delight to be on your show, just like it is every time I talk to you on the phone. You know, I thank you for letting me be on your show and talking about myself and having some fun. I usually don't get to talk this much and have that much fun on my show I usually have to crack the jokes and keep it going. And it was good. It was so at ease being on somebody else's show for a while. Now I have the podcast, do it myself. Everybody check out WROK FM Las Vegas Radio. You can find a radio station on my Facebook page. My show is Body Slamming Conversations. It's on twice a week. It's usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tracy Jones, I produce her show. She's my paranormal white witch. Monday and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. All my shows are at 8 p.m. Eastern always. Just easier time zones for everybody. Come on, see the show. Hit the subscribe button. Keep us. Help us keep our shows going. For the more you watch, advertise, sponsor us. It's a help to all of us. And help out Sean. Help out Dave. Help out Tracy. Help myself out. That's what I'm out here. I'm promoting everybody, not just myself. I love everybody I deal with, and it's been a blessing talking to your fans tonight. Deadpool, great questions. I'm glad you came out. Dave came out. George came out. Your girl there, what was her name? Pam came out.
Jamie Lynn and Pam.
Jamie Lynn and Susan and
Jamie Lynn.
Yvette.
Haunted Angels. They all come out.
And it was great to see different people, And Deadpool, he hung in there asking the questions, man. I love people who ask questions. So it was a thrill for me to talk to your audience. And, hey, you guys, check out Sean's theme songs. They're awesome. And come check out my show. And, Sean, you're always invited to come on my show, pop in, sit in, host, co-host, whatever you want to do. I don't care. You know that. And same thing with Dave, Bruce, or Tracy. Anybody wants to pop in. We're all like family. And thank you for all the investigation work you do for me, bro. I love you and I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And like I said, thank you very much for all you've done for me and the team as well. And right before I drop you in the back, I'm going to play this song one more time. Actually, Randy wrote it. He created it. And I do give him credit for it. So we're going to play it one more time before I drop him in the back and then make announcements for our next show. So we're going to play it one more time. Here we go.
In the shadows of the night, ghosts whisper secrets tight. Cryptic signals in the air, shaman chats, none compare. Shows tells a tale so bold, computer lights burning cold. Podcast streaming through the mist, welders' hands create a twist.
Derek.
Running with the wolf pack now. Bigfoot wolves, we can't back down. Werewolves howling at the moon. Cemeteries tales in June. Mysteries unfold so dark. Shaman leaves his cryptic mark. Echoes through the cyberspace. Truth or myth, we start to chase.
That is a kick-ass song. That is a kick-ass song.
Actually, Randy, I'm gonna play one more before I put you in back.
All right.
Because Pam made a statement earlier, and that might be a possibility in the future. So I'm gonna play this one as well, just to see how everybody likes this one. This one also Randy made as well. So
hey, Derek, if you want a song, let me know. Tell Derek if he wants a song. If he gets a hold of me, I'll help him out.
Okay. You heard Randy, Derek. So I'm going to play this one too, Randy, because this one actually has me and you in it. So we're going to play this one.
Let's knock it out, brother.
Here we go. On paranormal trails, in every story, truth will light the way. Sean and Randy here to stay.
That's badass.
There you go. Like you said, this one gives me superhero vibes. Like I said, I've got 3 or 4 different versions of a few of the songs Randy created for the team. I think it's pretty awesome that he did that. And like I said, I appreciate everything you've done for this team and creating those songs for us as well and for the podcast as well.
You're welcome, and, my brother.
Derek asked, how do you make these you sing them?
Actually, I don't sing them. I do AI singers. I use AI bands. I mean, I can sing, but I can't sing like that. I mean, but I write up all the words, all the music to it. And then it's like, it's like the announcement we do at the time, we're not responsible for this show type of thing. You hear, that stuff comes on before my show. You're saying anything that anybody says. Those are AI voices, and it's pretty cool. I mean, we can do that, and I hope we can do a lot more. I want to do some more songs for you, and I think they all rock out.
I love them. Like I said, I think you did an amazing job, and like I said, I'm giving you 100% credit for them because you did write the lyrics to them, and you did it.
Well, if anybody's interested in having their own theme song, contact me, and we'll work something out there.
All righty.
Sean,
I dig it. I love writing lyrics, the whole other monsters, and doing music too. Yep, that's cool. The last one cool. Here before we go. Yeah.
I was
all righty, Randy. I'm gonna put you backstage here.
You got it.
Thank you. Thank you for
You're
coming
welcome.
on the show tonight. And like I said, thank you for the theme song for the show.
Anytime.
And I appreciate everything you do. And even thank you for being the sponsor. And Tracy, too. I haven't hers up here yet, but Tracy will be a sponsor as well.
Well, we love you,
And
brother.
like I said,
we
I
love you.
appreciate everything.
We love
Thank
you.
you. And I love you guys back.
All right,
So
pal.
I'm gonna set you backstage, and like I said, we were talking to Rocken Randy from WROK FM Radio tonight. Great guy. Check out his show, Rockin' Body Slamming Conversations, and the host is Rockin' Randy. Check him out. You can also
Good night,
find links
everybody.
on my page. So, thank you, Randy. We'll let you go
You're
for
welcome,
here
buddy.
for
Good
a
night.
sec. All right. Randy's a great guy to talk to. He's a hell of a friend. He's made a great theme song for our show, and I appreciate it. I've even got a few new ideas since he's done it. And we've got some other things in the work as well, because we were talking about them today. So we'll definitely be working on them as well. The next show is July 16th, and I will have Mr. Richard Van Netta on the show from his team, TSA. I think that's what I remember it is, Transcending Paranormal. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I just know he got the initials, but I've met Richard Van Netta at Broadhead Manor. We've had some conversations before, and I'm sure we'll get in depth with some of the talks we have with him about paranormal and how he's dealt with things and how he's encountered and why he got into the field as well. So, but that will be actually this Tuesday night. He will be on the show. We'll have a show on Tuesday night, which is July 16th. So I will see everybody this coming Tuesday with Richard Van Netta as my guest on the Eternal X Wolf Pack Paranormal. Everybody have a great night, and I hope your weekend was great. And thanks for tuning in and all the comments as well. And please like and share out the show, and even Rockin' Randy's show as well with WROK FM and Body Slamming Conversations. Have a great show, guys. Or a great night, guys. I'm tongue twisted. Have a great night, guys. We'll catch you all later.